That's what I'm going to do. So yeah, I'm going to record this session. So I'm actually going to start, and then for everyone who didn't make it, we'll send them the replay. So first and foremost, I would actually like to ask you guys some few questions for everyone who has joined. Um, so what's actually one of your challenges when it comes to selling, building your audience online? What's your challenges? I would like for you guys to send me um um those things that you feel that that makes it quite difficult for you guys to build your audience online. Listening.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah.
So
Can I speak?
you could send me a message if that's possible. You could send me a chat so that I could see your chat. Peace.
I'm here, sir. Good
Oh,
evening.
good evening. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that you're following. Okay, so like I said you should send me those things that you feel uh um those difficulties you have when it comes to building your presence online. All right. NK said using the right content.
Sorry, you
Okay.
can send the messages here.
Yeah, sure.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Messages here, sir.
You could type
Can
it.
we send the messages?
Yes, definitely. Please send me the message.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Uh, Sending your messages, sending so I could see them. Okay, so okay, so I've seen I've seen Nkoyo's message, I've seen Peace. Cheryl, how are you? If you're just joining us, please do well to send in one of those challenges you have when it comes to using social media for your business, especially when it comes to building your audience. All is well. Okay, so can you guys see my shared screen? Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so
Yes, I can.
all right. So I'm going to proceed. I really would not want to wait much so that I don't get to waste much time. I would definitely send in the live recording to other people. Okay. Mm. We have to join in. Oh man. Okay, so why social media? You've got to understand that before social media ever came to existence, we had other forms of marketing, which was actually traditional marketing. And so basically what businesses did then was to use the newspaper, radio, television to actually promote their services. However, with the advent of social media, that has changed, that's changed the scope of marketing. Now we get with companies who are spending heavily to promote their products on social media, do their marketing online, and it's becoming a very tedious space, especially when you're a small business and you're trying to find your space and get the attention of people, especially when you have a lean budget when it comes to marketing, promoting your stuff. So basically, now before we had social media marketing, then if someone ever placed an advert on the radio, on the television, or newspaper, that person has some form of credibility. It was saying that that person was credible. Nobody was going to place in something shabby on the radio, television, or newspaper. Those channels gave people a form of credibility. However, with the introduction of social media marketing, with the way people are very pessimistic about people, and with the things people do on social media, we hear people say people don't get to post their real lifestyle, people live fake life online and all of this stuff. So it becomes very hard for people to actually trust you to give you their money. It becomes very hard. It becomes a little bit difficult. And so one of the things I'll be teaching in this class would be how to break those barriers, how to use social media to actually promote your business, where to start from, and all of this stuff. So I've seen questions. You know, uh, Peace said that. Let me go back to the chat. Peace said that my audience doesn't engage my posts as well as they should, and I'm not sure why or what to do, to and I'm not sure why or what to do to rectify that. Okay, and then Enke talked about using the right content. So I'm going to actually talk about this. I'm going to trash these issues, but I think, Enke, this is your question for using the right content. Tomorrow's session with Natalia, I think she's going to actually do justice to this question. So, but then I'm still going to touch that part too. So, why social media? Why so? Now that we have social media has given people the opportunity to actually reach a large space of audience without necessarily being there, and it is very affordable. It is very, very affordable. Yesterday I was talking with my friends talking about that these days it's not hard, having global relevance isn't rocket science any longer. It's quite easy to become relevant globally because of social media. We've had people who have become social media sensation. Oh, no, I wouldn't say, I wouldn't like to use the word overnight, but we have people who have become social media sensation. They became popular and famous all because of social media. I mean, you could see that the likes of people who do comedy skits and the rest, they've built their brand using social media. They've built their brand using social media. So I'm literally going to, share you tips on how you could actually do that. So, but before I proceed, you should understand that one of the reasons why people come online, as the name implies, is social media, is to connect. And one of the reasons why we have issues or we struggle with our content and having engagement, because when you're so focused on sales and sales and sales, your content wouldn't have that engagement. And also, even Facebook, even the algorithm wouldn't even encourage that. As of recently, Facebook, in a bid to save their platform and not allow people leave their platform, because they realize that people were not quick to stay online or stay on Facebook any longer, and then they were losing the audience. In the bid to do that, they reduced the number of marketing posts. They reduced the number of business posts, how people get to see business posts, posts that has to do with sales, or takes you to another website that you get to promote stuffs. Facebook had to clamp down on that because they wanted to have people on their platform. And so if you're actually sharing those kinds of posts, even the algorithm will not support it. However, there are actually ways you can actually bypass or boycott all of this, and that's what I'm actually going to share with you guys in this class. I'm actually going to show you guys my blueprint of building an audience. And you do not need to have a large following to actually have sales. You don't need those large number of people following you to have a good number of sales. You just need a loyal audience base. You just need a loyal audience base. And I'm actually going to show you how you can actually do that. I'm going to show you how you can actually do that. But before I get to that, first and foremost, before you ever join, before you ever start your social media marketing campaign, you have got to choose a platform that is actually very good for your business. You've got to choose a platform that is actually very good for your business. One of the things that people do, especially when you're a small business owner and you have a lean budget, you want to try your possible best to be on all platforms, but that's not good. That is to your disadvantage. Trying to be on all social media platforms, especially when you do not have the workforce, or neither do you have the budget, to embark on such stuff, you're actually going to shoot yourself on the foot. You're actually going to shoot yourself on the foot. You're not going to maximize, your social media platform because you will be trying to be on all places. And when you're trying to be on all places, you're never going to master any of them. You're never going to. And though we have the same principles that guides every social media platform, but then their mode of operation is actually different. And one thing is certain about all of these platforms. These platforms want you to be loyal to them. They want you to be consistent. They want you to spend your time there. And if you're trying to split your energies into different platforms simultaneously, then you're not going to achieve that. So you've got to actually you've got to actually choose a platform that is good for your business. You've got to choose a platform that is good for your business. Find it and dominate. For example, someone who is selling skincare products, selling clothes, the lifestyle products like clothes, shoes, bags, and all those stuff. I wouldn't even advise you to go on LinkedIn. If you're selling skincare products, I wouldn't advise you to go on LinkedIn, because when I did my research on LinkedIn, I took the hashtag skincare. I took the hashtag skincare, went on Instagram, searched the hashtag skincare, and I saw over more than 80 million posts associated with that hashtag. I took that same hashtag, went to Facebook, I saw almost close to 90 million, hashtags. Went to TikTok, searched that same hashtag skincare, and I saw close to 1 billion posts, a billion associated, a billion content associated with that hashtag. Then I went on LinkedIn and I checked that same hashtag, and I saw 28,000 posts associated with that hashtag. That gets to show you that your audience isn't on LinkedIn. Your audience is on, if you're going to promote stuff like that, your audience, clothes, your audience is not on LinkedIn. I know you might say, okay, well, we have people there, but your audience, where you're going to see your market is not on LinkedIn. You should be looking out for a platform like Instagram. You're looking out for a platform like Facebook, TikTok, and all of those. So that's where your platform is. That's where your audience is. That's where your audience is. That's where your audience is. So you've got to choose. You have got to choose the platform that is working for you. You have got to choose the platform that is working for you. You have got to find that platform that has your audience. You've got to find that platform, and to choose the best platform, you've got to choose a platform that has your audience. It's not really the one you're comfortable with, but the one that has your audience. You have got to look for the platform that has your audience. You've got to find those platforms that has your audience, and then you stay on those platforms. Understand their mode of oppression. And get to dominate. There's no way you're not going to be stars on both, especially when you don't have the workforce. If you can't be, now it'll be very easy to build up a particular platform to a certain height and standard, and then from there, when you have that traffic, you can channel it to your other platforms. That's how it's done. But if you're starting out now you're starting your social media marketing campaign, you have got to choose the platform. So you've got to find your space and focus on it. Right now, I would like you guys to send in I like you to go to the chat box right now and send in your the platforms that are suitable for your business. I would like to hear from you. What platform do you think your business would thrive on? Send in your message just right now on the chat box. That I would love to see your messages right now. Are you guys following me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So Facebook, I'm waiting for orders. Sending those platforms you feel your market would work best on. Sending the platform that your market would work best on. I will listen one message. Okay, I saw Wisdom and Amity said Facebook, and Koyo said Facebook and Instagram. Okay. Okay. Okay, so keep on sending. I'd like to know what platform do you think that suits your business the most? Like, so I want to hear from you guys. Sending your messages, sending your messages. Let me see to know that you guys are you're actually following me.
Hello, this is Myra Foster. I'm just getting into the class.
Yeah, you're welcome, Myra. You're welcome, Myra.
Thank you.
We have gone a little bit far, so yeah, we've gone a little bit far. But just mute your mic and see that and follow the class. What we're just talking about, I just give you a rundown. We actually talking about the if you're starting out your social media marketing campaign, you have got to find the platform. You've got to find the platform that gets to help your business. And one of the things I said was that all right, all the platforms. All right, I've seen that. Okay, so let's proceed now that we have actually talked about finding your space and focusing on your space. Now, the next thing you should do is actually to choose your objective. I will keep on emphasizing every platform has their mode of operation, but then the principles, the social media principle of marketing principles still stays the same. All of this platform requires that you've got to be consistent. You've got to be consistent. If you're not going to be consistent, then there is actually no way you are actually going to dominate your space. So one of the things that I encourage, small business owner or people who do not have, the workforce to, go out on all social media platforms to dominate, is actually to find a spot, find a social media that suits your kind of business, and then stay on that page and dominate it. Learn their modes of oppression and dominate it. But then you've got to be consistent. If you're not consistent, then there is actually no way you're actually going to, maximize your social media. But now the next thing you've got to do is to set your objectives. You've got to set your objective. Now, one of the things for you to be able to track your results on social media, you have got to set your objective. You've got to set your objectives. You've got to set out your objective. You've got to know what you're actually looking out for. You've got to know what you're actually looking out for. One of the things you just cannot go online and because you heard people say this is actually the latest platform now, so you just jumped up there and you just went along. No, you've got to sit down, set your objective. When you set out your objective, that would help you plan and structure, plan your steps on how you're actually going to achieve your goals. You just cannot jump up on Twitter or Instagram and just say, okay, I'm just here, I'm going to promote my business. You've got to understand, plan out your steps on how you're going to achieve your goals. So when when you know the space you want to stay on, you have got to find, next thing you've got to do is to actually set your objectives. You got to set your objective. You have got to set your goals, set your goals, set your goals. What do you want to achieve? What do you want to achieve on social media? What do you want to achieve on social media? Do you want to get more engagement? You want people to know you more, or do you want to make more sales? If you want to make more sales, you want to make people to know you more, you have got to just set your goals. You've got to set your goals. And I'm going to before I move to that, I'm going to talk about the mistakes people make on social media, especially when I know that I obviously know that the end point or the end goal of joining a social media platform as a business person is to actually make sales. But however, we go about this the wrong way. Me too. I made that mistake. I'm going to share you a story. When I first started out making shoes, one of the things that I did was, I went offline. I started posting out my products. But, the more I post, the more I wasn't getting engagement, because one, people did not know you. People did not know me. People did not know me. So there was no way they were going to, come on, just try out their stuff. But as I kept on doing it and I was engaging on the platform, not just posting out my products for sale, but I was sharing stuff, sharing content and all of this stuff, I slowly began getting close to people who started, coming close. And that was how, the people started buying my stuff. That's how people started recommending me too. So first and foremost, I'm actually going to show you guys what to do to especially for business, how you're going to make yourself, because I know that the majority of people here on this webinar, this live class, are people who are here to see how they can actually use social media to scale your business. Forget what everyone has told you. Forget what everyone has told you. You have got to understand that, especially when it comes to social media, people do not know you and people do not trust you. So your first goal is actually to build trust. But then this is how you do it. You're not just going to, okay, I'm just going to go there and start building trust. No, what you've got to do first is to put out your foods. How do I say it? Is to put out your product first, and then when people, this is how it works. So first, you've got to make your offer, promote your services, promote your goods on whatever you do. Now, when people get to see your content, one of the things that they'll do is that they want to check out your page or your activity to see what you're doing. That's where you're actually going to put out other content that can actually engage people, So let's say you're actually selling clothes. So what you've got to do is, make sure that your visuals are on point. So you put out a sales page, you make your offer, you make the promo, and then while you're making your offer, you're also then you're running ads, you're getting the traffic, you're also putting out content that are engaging, that are educative, that are inspiring on your page, so that once someone, they saw your ads and they're like, okay, let me check you out, and then they go on your page, and then they get to see stuff. They just get to see stuff, and that way, that's how you get to get into their heart. So when they say, oh, this person is relatable, they are real and they care about me too. So that's how they will want to stick around. But first and foremost, when you're running your first ad, when you're putting out your product for sale, you're not going to get the sales you're looking for. Especially when it's your first time. But also, one of the things you should do is that you should also encourage people to follow you. You've got to encourage people to follow you. So when you've done that, that's how you get, to get people to. I'm really going ahead of myself right now, because this is supposed to be something that I'm talking about. But then you've got to set your objective. You've got to set your objective. You've got to set your objective. That's one of the things you should know. You've got to set your objective. Without you setting your objective, then there is no way that you're going to dominate your space. You've got to have a goal. You've got to have a plan. Now, the next thing that we'll be talking about is actually to come in. The next thing we're going to be talking about is actually to choose your style. So what does it mean to choose your style? What does it mean to choose your style? You've got to choose. So how do you want to attract your clients? How do you want to attract your clients? How do you want to attract your clients? What's the style that you're going to use to get your engagement? What's the style that you're actually going to do to attract people? You know, you once you're done setting your objective, the next thing you should do is to choose your style. You should choose your style. You should choose how you're actually going to bring your clients your way. Are you going to put out educational content that would bring people close to you? Are you going to put out inspirational content? Are you going to put out entertaining content that will bring people your way? But by all means, you've got to choose your style. In a choose or your style, also you've got to choose your fonts, your colors. You know, what's your color? What's the color? What color do you want people when they come around your page? What's your brand color? You know, and then your fonts, your color style, and all of this stuff. And also, part of choosing your style is what method are you going to use to bring people your way? Now, I don't know if you've ever seen ladies who put up, you know, twerking videos, you know, obscene pictures of themselves, you know, and then once you go through that story, the next thing you're seeing is their product lined out. That's the strategy. That's the strategy. That's one of the strategies. But I also know that not everyone is going to, you know, use that way to get their audience. Not everyone's going to use that way to get their audience. So you have got to choose your style. What style do you want to use to attract people? For me, one of the things that will work best for me is the putting out educational content. This is one of the things that's really worked best for me. I put you know, you've got to educate people in your space, your target audience, the things that about your industry. There's no way you're going to dominate the social media space if you're not going to put out, you know, content that gets to make people see you or perceive you as someone who knows a lot about their industry. And before we even get to this part, this skipped my mind. You have got to know who your target audience is. You have got to know who your target audience is. You know, one of the reasons why your post isn't getting engagement is two things that are the reason why your post is not getting engagement. One is that you're talking to the wrong audience, and two, it could be that you're probably talking to the right audience, but they are not interested in the things that you're talking about. So you've got to also pay attention to your audience, pay attention to your audience to know what they really want. And so this is where you get to choose your style. You put out educational content. It is from these educational contents that you also get to know what your audience really wants, you know, what they respond to on your posts. But by all means, you have got to find a way to put out content that you've got to have a plan on what you're going to use to attract people to your page. You've got to have a way to attract people to your page. You've got to have a way to attract people to your page. If you do not have a way that you're actually going to attract people to your page, then I might just say you're just going to be there. But you've got to find a way. What's going to be that unique thing that you're going to do to get people's attention? Like I said, Putting out educational content is one of them. Putting out inspirational content is one of them. And putting out entertaining content is one of them. But you've got to find how you're going to marry all of these things. You've got to find how you're going to marry all of these things to actually, you've got to find how you're going to marry all of these things to, you've got to find how you're going to marry all of these things to, you've got to find a way how you're going to marry all of these things to actually suit your page. You've just got to do that. Without that, you're not going to make any headline on Facebook. You're not going to make any headline here if you do not have a plan or a strategy on how you're actually going to, bring people to your page. One of the things that I want you to take out from these meetings are, once you're going back, you've got to find how are you going to attract people to your page? How are you going to attract people to your page? How are you going to attract people to your page? How are you going to attract people to your page? One of the ways to attract people to your page is first and foremost is to create awareness of the problems you want to solve. You've got to create awareness. Once you create an awareness, then you're actually going to bring people your way. Now, if for someone who is actually into fashion, imagine if you're putting out content that helps your target audience know how to combine their dress, their outfits to have the perfect combo for an outing. You're teaching them how to dress. Probably you're into shoes. You're showing them the kinds of shoes to use for a particular occasion. Those kinds of content, they are amazing content. They are content that drives engagement. If you're actually going to teach, show them those kind of things, then people are going to actually want to know more about you. So you've got to find something that will attract people to your page. If you're just going to go there and do the regular, put out your content, that's not going to work for you. You've got to find a way that you're actually going to bring people to your space. You've got to find a way that you're actually going to bring people to your space. I really cannot, emphasize this enough. You've got to find a way that you're going to bring people to your page without having a plan of what you're going to use to attract people. Then there's no way you're actually going to get people's attention. There's no way you're going to get people's attention, which leads us to the next phase, which I've already talked about. One of the things is you've got to educate people, inspire and entertain people. When you have done these things, you're going to get people, because one of the reasons why people come online isn't because they want to be sold to. People are not coming online because they want to buy stuff. No, they came online because it is more or less like leisure. It's for recreational purposes. It's for the rest of it. They just want to while away time and burn away stress. And so if all you're going to do to your audience is just sell, then you're actually going to bore people, and even the algorithm won't even help your content. So you've got to find a way that you're going to bring, and that is why it is important to put out educational content, inspiring content, and entertaining stuff. And you've got to be vulnerable too. You've got to be vulnerable. You've just got to humanize your brand. That's one of the things that social media gives us the opportunity to do, to humanize our brand, where we get to connect with people, share, content that inspires. If you do not do these things, then there is no way your market is going to move online. There is no way. If you doubt what I'm saying, go follow the top guys who people like Russell Brunson, or people who get to sell online. You get to see that they are also putting out content that are engaging too. They are not just promoting their goods. It's either they're putting out educational content, or they're putting out inspiring content, or they're putting out entertaining content. You've got to do one of these things to bring people to your page. You've got to find, because the game, now I'm going to tell you, anyone that gets this has finally found a way to dominate on social media. Now, the social media marketing game is a game of attention. And now, anyone who gets people's attention and also retains people's attention would win the social media marketing game. Take it anyway. Anyone who knows how to get people's attention and how to retain people's attention would win the social media marketing game. You've got to find a way to just get attention and retain attention. That's why people go all out to put out almost nude pictures just to get attention, because That's actually what the social media, that's what works. You've got to get people's attention, but by all means, you've got to get people's attention. But except one of the things that would really backfire for people who get to use nudes to get people's attention is that you'll be sending in the wrong message, because definitely you're gonna get guys that will buy your stuff, but then they would also want the other stuff. They would also want the other stuff, and so you've got to be careful on what you're using to get the attention. And when you're using such stuff, you're going to repel people, your right audience. You're going to repel people, and you're going to attract a certain class of people. That's what you're going to do. Now, the next thing on your schedule is to plan your content. Now, I haven't given you out a structure on how to do so. You're putting out educational content, you're putting out inspirational content, and you're putting out entertaining content. Now, one of the things I realized for me, if I have almost close to like 2 months of content already planned out, like 2 months of content. If I'm not mistaken, I have like almost close to 3 months content already planned out. Like I have already close to 3 months of content already planned out. You've got to plan your content. You've got, so that on the days you do not feel, you do not have the energy, or you run out of steam on what to post, you've got to plan out your content. And so I'm going to actually share you guys how to get content ideas. By the way, if you're into fashion, you're into skincare, you're into the hair business, you're into personal health, fitness, or wellness, I've actually created a content pillar guide that could actually help you generate content for the whole year. Like I've literally helped you generate structured a pillar guide that will help you generate content on a daily basis for the whole year. And so if you're interested in my content pillar guide, do it to send me a message. But then I'm going to show you tips on how to plan your content. So basically, one of the things I do is that you have got to follow your industry. You've got to pay attention to what's going on in your industry. What's the latest trend? You've got to pay attention to what's the latest, and also you've got to keep tabs on your competitors. See what your competitors are doing, and see how you can adapt what they are doing, to suit you. If you're going to copy word for word, then that's going to backfire. But you've got to adopt their content, see what they are doing, and see how you can add yourself. That's another way you could get your content idea. Also, there are for me, I use the SEO tools. I go out and I pick out a particular keyword and I put in there to see what people are actually searching for. When I put out that keyword on the SEO tool, SEO tools on Google. Google have one. You can use Google Trend. Google Trend is actually one of the best tools that you could take a particular keyword in your industry, put it on Google Trend, and Google Trend will show you what people have been searching about in your industry. That's another way to get content idea that people are not even aware of. Go on Google Trend, take a keyword in your industry, put it out there, and then Google will show you things people have been talking about in your industry. That's another way you could actually get content ideas. Another one is looking out for what your competitors are doing and seeing how you can actually adopt their style. And then another one is, what value do you want to add in your industry? What value do you want to add in your industry? What problem do you want to solve? If you know what you're going to solve, that way you can actually draft out content that would help you achieve your goals. Remember, you have a goal, you have a set of objectives already. So you're going to draft out content that would help you achieve your goals. And one of the things is, using the SEO tools, using putting out keywords to see what people are talking about in that particular thing, in that particular problem you want to solve, or looking at what your competitors, people who are doing the things that you want to do, are doing, and seeing how you could, add your own flavor to it. Another one is, you could also get my content pillar guide, which I have literally generously taken out time to help you develop content ideas that would literally help you for the whole year. Now also, you've got to, now that you know what works, you've got to structure your content in a way that it educates, inspire, and entertain. So you've got to plan out your content. You've got to plan out your content. You know, there are moments you are going to have, you know, those aha moments. What you simply need to do is use your notepad and typing it in. Just type in your content. Like if you check out my notepads on my phone, you would have seen lots of content. There are some I haven't even published yet, but I just have content idea. And content, I'm going to just tell you guys, is content isn't just limited to writing alone. Writing is actually one form of content. We have different form of content. We have videos, we have pictures, we have audio, and we have written content. So you've got to find any of these areas that you're comfortable with. You know, imagine that you have a written content, you have a video content, you have an audio content, you have pictures, and all of those stuff. You have got to have, you know, try out different forms of content. You've got to try different forms of content, you know, video, image, pictures, and all of this stuff. But make sure that you are actually putting out content. You're actually putting out content that would help you. Now, the next thing is build your community. You know, also understand that when you start putting out content, you're actually going to attract people. And how to build your community is to make sure that you're always engaging in your posts. When people comment on your posts, make sure that you're responding to your posts. Make sure you're responding to your comments. Make sure you respond to your DMs. That way, and also make sure that you're always promoting your stuff. You're always promoting your stuff, because that's one of the things you're doing. As you're planning out your content, make sure to always do your promotionals. Make sure that you're also doing your promotional. Make sure that you're also doing your promotional. As you plan out your content, make sure that you're also doing your promotional. And then finally, the last stuff that I didn't include here is that make sure that you run ads. Make sure that you run ads for yourself. Promote your page. Promote your page. Organic won't save you that much. Organic will be very slow, but if you also add, you know, sponsor ads to your game plan, that will really help you. If you add sponsor ads to your game plan, that will really help you. That will really help you. And that will be all for today. Tomorrow, I'll be bringing in my friend Natalia from the US, and she will be talking about, you know, TikTok. She is actually a TikTok guru. She has literally sold her business, her fashion business, all from TikTok. So she'll be really talking more about content. Now, if you have any question, do well to shoot me your question. I would be waiting for your questions in the comment section, in the chat session. So send me in your questions. Send in your questions. Hello.
Yes.
Hello, Mr. Deacon.
Yeah. So send in your questions. Do you have questions?
Okay,
Send in your questions.
Okay, I thought we can make it interactive here.
All right. You could.
Okay. You've talked about. First of all, I want to say thank you. Someone just shared this link with me, so I had to join immediately.
All right.
I really appreciate what you've shared so far, and it's really unique because as a startup, and according to together with how this generation is, I think a whole lot of people spend more time online, and social media is always where you find the people. I always describe it as one of the largest continents in the universe.
You're right, man.
I've actually sold out a lot of products. I do most of the foodstuffs.
Okay.
And I think I got my first clients where I had to export foodstuff to the US on Facebook. That was 2017. And we've been doing business, exception of this COVID-19 thing. So that's why we've not been doing much recently. But now you're talking about what really got me interested is the content. And most of the times I would just feel like I have something to write, but I don't really know how to, you know, put it out there so that to be catching.
Okay.
You understand? So in that aspect, what do I really need to do?
Well, I understand what's your fear. I understand that stuff. So you probably have an idea, but you feel like what you have is not catchy enough, right?
Yeah.
So, but this is one of the things that I'm going to share that I feel like is actually going to liberate you, because you don't have to be perfect. I know you know this, but you don't have to be perfect. Share your idea as they come. Share your idea as they come. You could probably, if you have issues trying to type it out, you could also do videos. Yeah, you could also do videos. Like you could do videos. Just but make sure that you're sharing your ideas. And the truth of the matter is that no matter how lame you feel your idea might be, no matter how lame you feel your idea might be, there is someone in need of that information. There is someone in need of that information that you have in in your mind right now. There is someone in need of it. So what you need to do is you've got to share it regardless of how it is, because it is from the sharing that you actually know how you can even make it catchy. That's you really cannot know what you're going to improve if you're not doing it. It's when you started doing that, that's when you're going to know where you're going to make it catchy. Yeah. Does this answer your question?
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much.
All right. Uncle, do you have a question? Hello.
No.
All right. So if so it seems that there is no more questions. Tomorrow by 8 p.m. we'll be having Natalia from the US, talk about a lot of content and how to use TikTok. And so if you have friends who you feel need this kind of information, go out and share them. We want to have a full house tomorrow, because trust me, Natalia is so good on how to use TikTok. Like I said, she literally built her business from TikTok. Like she literally built her business from TikTok. So she'll be sharing much about the content. There's so much I would have loved to share, but then because of time, I mean, I really can't put out much right now. But if you have questions, do well to send me questions. Do well to send me your questions. Anytime you have questions, do well to send me your questions. And finally, do want to invite people too for tomorrow's session. It's by 8 o'clock, 8 p.m., 8 p.m. same time. It's gonna be for an hour. It's gonna be for an hour. We won't stretch this much, but do want to invite people, and I would be signing off now, and that'll be all. And then also, if you're interested in for this session is actually recorded. So if you need it, you can send me a message, and you forward me your email, and I will send across this this session to you. Send across this session to you. That will be all for now. Good night and have a lovely night rest. Bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Okay.